So, last but not the least, here are a few suggestions that I have when it comes to how do you go about creating a culture of creativity and innovation. First and foremost, do no harm, right? Which is, if you don't, if as leaders, we need to understand what is it that we are doing, which could potentially harm or create a culture which could move towards below the line culture, which is either a combative or a conspiratory or a compliant culture. Don't do anything which can actually potentially harm. If you don't do anything that can actually do good, so do no harm. Hands up versus hands down mindset. Hands up is all about openness, is all about collaboration, is all about doing things together, so giving, right? So if you actually put your hands up, you are creating a model where you're open and you're giving to people, versus hands down is all about taking, right? Which is all about closed culture. It's all about, I do not want to do anything, just do what I'm asking you to do. So that's the kind of culture that, or mindset, that is a hands down mindset. There are times when you need to have a hands down mindset. It's not that one is always better than the other, but you need to be, uh, both as individuals as well as team leads, we need to be aware of when we are using a hands up mindset versus a hands down mindset. What if and how best is a metaphor that Jennifer Mueller talks about in her book. Uh, the book is called Creativity Bias. The book is called Creativity Bias. And she says that while everyone wants creativity and innovation, they say that they want creativity and innovation. When you actually give them really creative solutions to problems, creative solutions never get accepted easily. It takes years and years for any creative solution to actually get accepted and become widespread. So, just a simple example is about hand wash, right? Doctor in 1800s, he knew that if doctors do not wash their hands, they are actually spreading diseases to their patients. But it took almost 70 years for the doctor community to bring hand wash as a regular, normal regimen, a habit for doctors to kind of use in their everyday practice. And COVID has probably done more to bring this into habit than anything else. Now, what is a what if and a how best mindset? What if mindset is all about creativity, imagination, and innovation. What if we do this? What if we can do this? What if we connect this with this? What if we try this? Whereas how best is, I know what we need to do. Now, how can we do it fastest, cheapest, in the most efficient way, right? So, what if is all about thinking up new ways or thinking up new things to do. How best is all about how to do it the best. So, it's all about execution. So, what if is all about innovation? How best is all about execution. So, we need to know when to employ what. Um, Last but not the fourth one is flex your muscles before you need them, right? So just like you need to do exercise and build your muscles before you actually can use them, the creativity and innovation is also like a muscle. As a team, you need to consistently think about creative solutions, think about brainstorming, think about smaller problems to solve on an ongoing basis, so that when you come to a point where you are facing a significant challenge, you have already built up the muscle in terms of the collaboration, in terms of the ability to brainstorm, in terms of the ability to come up with creative solutions, in terms of the ability to manage conflicts, in terms of the ability to have these communications. So all of that at a smaller level, you need to do consistently, and in order for you to be able to deploy them when you really need them. You cannot get them on the day. Suddenly, I cannot come to a team and say, okay, I need an innovative solution for this particular problem right now. You have 1 week to do it. It doesn't work like that. You need to have built those muscles over a period of time. Rituals, stories, and legends. Humans as a species, we believe and we learn from each other through rituals, stories, and legends. So, for example, one of the rituals that you could have is about every team meeting starts with X. The X could be someone talking about what they learned last week, someone talking about what is the problem that they resolved or solved last week, about a particular challenge that they had last week, a particular book that they have read last week, a particular piece of content that they liked last week, or whatever, So these are small rituals that we can actually build into the interaction within the team, so that over a period of time it becomes second nature to the team. Just like as individuals we have our own habits, as teams we can build those habits as well. And the more rituals we practice, the better we get at it over a period of time. And of course, stories and legends are the best way to inculcate new people within the culture of the organization. For example, there is a retailer in the US, uh, who is very very Nordstrom. If you've heard of the name, they for them customer service is super critical. So they have a legend that says that at one point in time there was a customer who came back and returned a tire to the customer service department and said that they did not like this tire and they would like to replace it with something else. And the customer service department actually gave them a voucher which they then used to buy something else from the store. All this when they do not sell tire. That's a story, that's a legend that has happened. It may not be true. I'm sure it's not true, but it is a legend that is passed around in the organization. The idea being, whatever happens, customer service and customer satisfaction and delight is the most important thing for us. That is what that legend actually tells everyone. And that legend is passed on in every employee who joins the company as part of their induction or onboarding process itself. I talk about onboarding and culture and all of that in a blog post that I wrote yesterday, actually, and the importance of creating a 5-star onboarding experience. So that's something that we can look at it. Culture is also like a garden, maintaining a garden, right? So maintaining a culture is like maintaining a garden. Whether you like it or not, grass will grow, weeds will grow. So you have to regularly prune them. So you have to be conscious of the fact that which side of the culture spectrum are you falling in, and unless you're conscious and unless you weed, prune all the bad habits out of your culture, all those bad habits will actually come in. So regular pruning is required. You have to hire, fire, promote, and recognize people based on the values that you have put together as a team. And those values should actually be the ones that are actually supporting innovation and creativity. You may say you want to create a creative culture, but if you tolerate someone who does things which are completely against what the values are, then you will never get any creativity. If you don't promote people who show what or who exhibit the beliefs and the values that you want the team to show, you will not get it. People instinctually understand when we say something and then not back it up by hiring, firing, promoting, or recognizing people for doing exactly what we say that we want them to do. The bullshit meter is very, very strong in all of us. So it's important that we do that. And then, of course, you need to create guardrails so that the combative nature do not, or the combative or conspiratory kind of culture do not happen. Last but not the least, culture is not just team managers' responsibility. Culture is not just HR responsibility. Culture is everybody's responsibility. So irrespective of whether you have just joined the team, whether you are just joined outright out of college, or you've been in the team for 20 years, it is everybody's responsibility. And as long as each one of us takes that responsibility, we can maintain that culture. I'll just give you a small example. If someone says something that is completely against what we want people to believe or do, do you actually call them out? So if you do, then you can be sure that the culture will reflect what you want them to do. So if nobody calls people out at all, then typically people will resort to whatever is their lowest common denominator within the team, which is accepted and tolerated. So behaviors tend to percolate down to the level at which they are tolerated. It is unfortunate, but that is the way reality is.